Hey everybody, welcome back into the Sports Plus podcast. This is our first one of 2020. We've been off for a few weeks, but we're back. Gonna try and stay on schedule this year. You should expect new episodes every Tuesday. I'm Corey Miller here with Andy Mohler, Ahmad Hicks, and Frank Cusumano. Let's talk Blues first here. It's been a while since we had a podcast. It's been a while since we talked Blues. They've lost 3 in a row right now on a West road trip that looked like a West road trip from like a few years ago when they used to go out there and just get beat up and down California. They're still, so they lost 3 in a row, and they're still 5 points up on any team in the West. That's just how good it's been for the Blues in this first half of the season. They're now back home for their longest stretch of the season, 3 weeks at home. Some pretty subpar competition come up, at least if you believe the standings, so they can make some hay here. First thing, since it's been a while, Binnington hasn't been nearly as good this year as he has last year, if you just look at the numbers. But, I mean, that's to be expected. He was ridiculous when he first burst onto the scene. 7 goals last game against Colorado. But overall, he and Jake Allen together have formed a really good tandem that has helped carry this team, and especially Jake Allen, because I don't think anybody saw him being this good again. I didn't.
That may have been the longest opening monologue since Carson in his prime.
Well, I have to fit in a few words because I know I'm not going to get much words here at the end once you start taking over.
All right,
Frank.
Andy, go ahead. What do you got?
I just think that the goalie situation is kind of reverting back to the mean. Allen is probably better than he was last year, and now he's sort of proving that. Binnington, you're right. He stood on his head all last year, so you had to expect a little bit of fall back. But I think the overall equation comes out to this is a pretty good goaltending tandem.
Now, my one thought on the tandem, and I've always thought this, that when you get to the deadline, if Jake is a top 10 goalie, and up until the shelling in Las Vegas, he was a top 3 goalie, that somebody's going to offer you a deal you can't refuse, and you make that great asset move, at the deadline. But then I threw that theory today at Kelly Chase on the radio, and he said, if you do that, then you're 1 injury away from your season ending. So maybe you just play it out and have this great asset doing nothing during the postseason, but it's a great insurance policy.
I might say it's a great problem to have if you're head coach Craig Berube, right? I mean, to have 2 stud goalies to help you out in the playoff push. And what did Cam Jansen say last year? The teams that win the Stanley Cup are the teams with the best goalie. And if you have 2 of the top goalies in the NHL, I think that's a good problem to have for the Blues.
The Blues are set up organizationally pretty well at goaltender, too. Husso, I guess he's not quite thought of as high as he maybe was right when they drafted him. I don't know that much about him, but they've got another younger guy who just won with Canada in the juniors there who seems to be pretty good as well. Jake Allen, though, of all goalies with 10 games, 7th in save percentage, 10th in goals against average. He's been really good, and I know the fans are happy to see that because he was always a good guy, and it's good to see him back in the good graces. Speaking of goalies, a year ago today, Jordan Binnington's first start in Philadelphia. Who'd have thought 12 months ago we'd be talking about him like we are today? It's really been nuts. And watching some of the content people are putting out today, he actually did admit he was nervous after that first game.
Yeah. I mean, who knew, besides like Lou Korak and Jim Thomas and Tom Timmerman, who knew anything about this guy a year ago today? It's amazing what he's done in this short period of time.
He went from a nobody to a household name in St. Louis.
And I think that start probably came just, I don't want to say out of desperation, but they'd run out of options.
Oh, yeah.
And so
it wasn't Craig Berube saying
it makes it look like a crystal ball genius move.
Yeah. Let's touch on another big reason the Blues are at the top of the West. Alex Pietrangelo, who's probably playing the best hockey of his career. He's really been on another level since the end of the playoffs last year. He was one of their best players in the Stanley Cup Finals, I thought. He's got 12 goals already, 23 assists. He's +8, 5 power play goals. This is the best I've ever seen him play, and it's coming at the right time for the Blues and for him personally because he knows he's due for a big paycheck here.
Well, it's the biggest question, as we all know, in 2020. I think that because he's married a St. Louis girl, because he's the captain of a Stanley Cup champion, that he'll end up taking a little less. I just can't picture Doug Armstrong, the smartest guy in the room, allowing this guy to leave town. I know there's only so much he can do with a salary cap, but I just can't picture him. You know, if he goes to Canada, the tax situation's a lot worse. So
Remember when they made the Falk trade, though? We were thinking, okay, maybe this is their insurance if they don't sign Pietrangelo. Falk hasn't quite been as good as everybody had hoped. He's been better than he started. But I remember when we made that trade, the talk was, okay, this is the guy to fill in for Pietrangelo if he goes.
Well, the best thing for Pietrangelo is that Colton Parayko doesn't score goals anymore, and that Falk has not been what we thought he'd be. It increases his value here, but as we mentioned, there's a cap. There's only so much you can do.
So do you think they part ways with some young talent to keep him?
Well, the young talent's not the issue. It'll be, look, Jake Allen's contract can't be on the books next year, I don't think. And maybe they can move someone else making money. The young kids are not the issue. It's the guys.
Because they're not going to have to get paid for a little while still.
That's what makes it great.
Yeah, it's going to cut into the veteran depth, no question about that.
Let's talk All-Star Weekend a bit here because it's just a few weeks away. The excitement's starting to build. We're talking about it here at the station. Blues have 3 All-Stars, O'Reilly, Pietrangelo, and Jordan Binnington, the most in the NHL, deservedly so. All those guys are worthy. But David Perron should have been there already. I think he's going to get there now with the fan vote. It's just kind of criminal to keep him off the team. They say they don't care that much, but Perron did say he cared. Somebody asked him on Twitter, and he said, yeah, this means a lot to me. My kids want to see me play. I've never done it. It's at home. I love to play in front of the fans. I think St. Louis is going to get him in with the final vote, and they should.
I mean, how do you keep a guy that's leading the team in points, off the All-Star roster or up there in points? He's been one of the key players for the Blues this entire season, and I think he's maybe just not a big name as the other 2. They got 3.
Well, the NHL likes Ryan O'Reilly a lot. Everybody likes Ryan O'Reilly a lot, which they should.
Conn Smythe Award winner in his hometown needs to score.
Yeah,
and Binnington, he has to get in, and Pietrangelo, he's a captain. It's all understandable, but
You'd think too with the games right now because the deadline is the 10th, I believe, right?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
And with games tonight and Thursday, and the Blues kind of dominating the headlines here because they're back in town. You'd think that he's going to get a lot of votes here.
And I mean, if you look at who he's up against in the Central, I don't know off the top of my head anymore, but just comparing everybody up. Yeah, but he's got the best.
Oh, he's statistically
he's the best. Yeah. While you're voting for David Perron, vote for TJ Oshie too, and Clayton Keller. I think that would be pretty cool. I think Oshie's going to get it for the Metropolitan Division. That'd be pretty cool to see him back in town.
One of the best things about this All-Star Week that's coming up is the fact that at Centene Community Ice Center on that Thursday night at 7 o'clock, there's going to be 80 legends of the game, many of them lacing up the skates. I mean, you could see Mario, you could see Gretzky. It's going to be, look, the skills competition may be the best part of the All-Star game. The All-Star game may be second, but this could be a close third, seeing the greatest players in the history of hockey all in one little area right next to Hollywood Casino.
I mean, that piece that you did last week on the Blues legends coming back to play, that was pretty cool. So just imagine.
They know how to do an alumni event here. I mean, they sold out Busch Stadium for the alumni game in the Winter Classic, and that was a spectacle. So you get even bigger names. It should be pretty cool.
And can you name a franchise that is more connected to their alumni than the Blues are?
Good point.
Yeah.
Let's move on here. A little topical today. The XFL rules have been released. We're recording this on Tuesday. And as a lifelong Battlehawks fan,
oh boy,
I like the rules. So let's get into a few of them here. Let's talk about the point after touchdowns first. No kicks. It's going to be a tiered system in the XFL. You get 1 point if you convert from the 2-yard line, 2 points if you convert from the 5-yard line, 3 points from the 10-yard line. So an 18-point game is a 2-possession game still. I like it.
The biggest question is how much are the kickers getting paid? Because what are they doing? Just doing kickoffs? That's the easiest job in the world. I feel
they kick field goals still.
I think the best part about it is the running clock, even after an incompletion.
It's just the timing is another cool thing here. The clock is going to run continuously except for the 2-minute warning. Then I think after the 2-minute warning, it'll stop on out of bounds.
If you can make it like 2.5-hour games, that's the great thing about like college basketball. Those are 2-hour, time frames. College football games are getting to be insane now. NFL games are pretty tough from time to time. Baseball games are brutal. If you can make this a quick
2-hour game,
and if the fact that a season ticket is going to cost you $100, it's 5 games, $20. I think they're going to draw 28,000 that first game.
Hey, their slogan is less stall, more ball. So it's all about speed
You've
here.
been waiting to get to break that.
Is that the Battlehawks or the whole?
That's the
entire
XFL. That's what they
stall,
said
more ball.
with
That's good. I
their
like it.
rules. I like the OT shootout style. It's better than I think any football thing. It's definitely better than the NFL formula right now. No ties.
Anything is better than
5
that.
possessions, best of 5. I think it could be a lot of fun. I'm excited to see how it plays out. I told Andy in the sports office, this is it. We'll remember the day. It's just a matter of time before the XFL takes over the NFL, and this is what we'll be talking about. Not really. Okay, let's go some hoops here. SLU Billikens back in action tomorrow. They escaped with a win over UMass this weekend. Little bit worrisome, but we were just talking in the sports office. The A-10 overall is pretty good this year. So,
Really good.
So not too much a cause for concern, right, Frank?
No, look, I'll take a victory. My theory is that there's like 100 great college players, and then there's like about 1,000 even, and everybody's got players. So UMass, who didn't have a great record and not that highly regarded, they had a kid, that Indiana and Louisville and Kansas wanted. So everybody's got players. You win a game, it's a pass-fail thing. They pass. So I'm pleased with it.
Every game is going to be competitive in the A-10 from here on out. I mean, everyone's gunning for SLU. They A-10 champions last year, so they want to be able to show that they can knock off the champions. Meanwhile, SLU has to overcome an obstacle, losing Gibson Jimerson, a big blow to their team and what he can do offensively. Still some guys trying to find their role. Coach Ford said the other day they should all know their role by now. It's been forever since they started with one another. But Tay Weaver said he loves playing with his team. They have player-only meetings all the time, and they're built for this, and they can't wait to showcase that.
Who's the guy that has to step up now? Is it Jacobs? That seems to be kind of what the...
Yeah, and Travis had a great heart-to-heart with him and just told him, you're not getting it done. We need more from you because you lose Jimerson and Thatch. You got to have somebody who can knock down a shot besides Tay Weaver. God bless Jordan Goodwin and Hassan French, but they are not knocking down 18-footers. And this guy's a good shooter. He's a good player.
Javante Perkins also has to step up.
Shout out French and Goodwin real quick. The only tandem in the country, teammate tandem, averaging a double-double. Jordan Goodwin is just a beast on the boards. Only guy under 6'5" in the country in the top 50 in rebounding. That's pretty impressive. So SLU, they're back tomorrow. Who do they have tomorrow?
George
Washington. So they're in the middle of their A-10 schedule. Should be a lot of fun. People have been coming out to the games, too. It's a fun environment down at Chaffetz.
Yeah. They had 2 billionaires sitting front row. They had nearly 9,000.
I was just going to say, not including Frank.
You, huh? Yeah.
I actually washed both their shoes after the game.
All right, last thing here real quick because it's kind of fun to think about. We'll have a lot of Cardinals talk ramping up with the winter warm-up and spring training on the way. There's some Nolan Arenado rumors out there. The Cardinals are one of the teams people are talking about. It seems far-fetched to me, but it is fun to think about because he's one of the 5 best players in baseball, in my estimation. What would be your hypothetical package you would send to Colorado for Arenado?
Well, I think it's pretty simple. I mean, Dakota Hudson has to be in it, and either Carlson or Gorman has to be in it, and then you put O'Neill and someone else. It's a four for one deal.
I was going to say it's going to take at least 4 guys to get him, and you're going to have to part with Gorman or
and I would do that in a heartbeat.
Oh, yes.
I mean,
Well,
having those 2 guys at the corners, Goldschmidt and Arenado.
And that's why Gorman would probably be the easiest to let go of because Arenado's probably gonna be around for several years.
There's
Let go
giving
of
up
Carpenter too. Yeah, he can go.
to throw him in there.
Yeah, he can go.
Yeah, he'll go to Kansas City.
So you throw in the prospects, that might not be the part that's hanging it up. Then you got to take on that contract that he signed in Colorado already. That might be what they don't want to do.
Are we cutting into the grandkids trust fund?
Exactly. The last thing that any of us should ever be concerned with is the DeWitt Grandchildren's Trust Fund.
I'm not going to argue with you there.
Frank, a question that I'm sure a lot of people will want to ask you. What is it about the Cardinals, and why won't they spend money to get these top-name free agents?
Well, you do look at their overall salary structure, and it's top 10 in the league. Mm-hmm. So I wouldn't call the DeWitts cheap. They've missed out on some of these free agents, but it's not like they didn't offer Stanton a lot of money.
Yeah.
I mean, they've been in there. They've been finalists for a lot of these.
It's not just the Cardinals either. I mean, the Red Sox are actively trying to get worse and shed payroll.
Yeah, they want to get rid of one of the five best players in baseball, Mookie Betts.
And they're also under investigation right now.
They are.
For stealing signs in 2018.
I said
Just to throw that out.
First thing I said when I walked in, I think, imagine that, a Boston team under investigation for cheating.
Back-to-back world champions with this issue.
All right, everybody. Thanks for joining us on the Sports Plus podcast. That's it for this episode. We'll be back next week. Make sure to download, subscribe, and rate and review us wherever you get your podcasts.